Tell us a bit about what you've learned about what makes people happy. And if possible, I know you've worked globally, anything particular about Brits, but really it's about just your perspective on what gives people that happiness.
So happiness is our birthright, and it's something that can be tapped into at any time. And it's not about acquisition. It's actually about letting go. It's about letting go of all the layers that we put on ourselves, the armor that we put around our heart. It's about letting go of all of the narrative, all of the self-talk, all of the judgment. Actually, once you're able to silence your mind and stop the narrative circuitry, you find that this joy naturally arises, this centeredness, this peacefulness, this resourcefulness. So joy is about letting go of what's blocking you rather than acquiring anything.
I'm getting a little bit, well, one of the values that we're looking at is gratitude, and I wondered if you could talk a bit about that. You're kind of speaking around it. It's about being now and appreciating what you've got. What do you see as the relationship between happiness and gratitude?
They are directly correlated. When you're grateful for something, positive psychology works in that when you focus on something, where attention goes, energy flows. So if you're feeling love and gratitude and positivity, it's going to create that, it's going to manifest that. You're actually priming your mind to attract more of that in your life. And you're actually noticing everything that you've already got around you that you could be happy about. Whereas when you're focusing on the negatives, then we tend to attract a lot more of that. We start to notice all of the things that are wrong, and then we can go down that rabbit hole. So gratitude is a really important way of anchoring yourself in all of the things that you've got to be happy about and taking a moment to take stock. Gratitude is really good as well because you mentioned it anchors you into the present.
And where do you think people are finding happiness right now? Things are tough in the UK. I know a lot of your audience will be more resilient, perhaps. They're higher earners. But what are those things? You talked about the present, body. Is it meditation? Is it holidays?
I think there are many different ways to try and acquire happiness. Some are more fulfilling than others. So I think generally, if you look at people nowadays, they look at happiness through distraction. Pick up my phone. I'm going to just switch off my mind, try and get happy. So they zone out and they do mindless stuff. So playing games or, scrolling through social media or, Netflix binging. All of that has a value. It's nice to sort of chewing gum for the mind, but it doesn't actually create happiness. It doesn't create growth. It doesn't create anything other than short-term bursts of dopamine. It's not really fulfilling. Same way with book a holiday. You put all of your expectations into this wonderful holiday, and then you get there and you're relaxed for a bit, but even on holiday, you're booking your next holiday, But one of the things, having said that, when you are on holiday, you allow your brain to sort of get out of this survival part of the brain and move to this part, which is your prefrontal cortex. That's the space which is responsible for empathy, perspective, resourcefulness. When you sort of switch off all of this survival rumblings and you're in that part of your brain, you're able to be to have your breakthroughs, to have your insights and stuff. So I think a lot of people get really happy when they're on holiday because they're accessing that part of the brain. People who are more intentional with their happiness, they're finding it through the same old things that they always have that are tried and proven to work. Things like going for a walk, doing exercise, meditating, yoga. Essentially, all these things, what they have in common is they get you into your body. And when you're in your body, you can start to notice and appreciate, here's the gratitude. Oh, look at that. What a beautiful day. Or look at the spring and the flowers that are coming up. You can't have gratitude unless you're present. And you can't get present unless you switch off your mind. So it's a direct sequence. So people are getting happy, hopefully intentionally, by getting embodied, getting present,